What's going on, guys? So, coming back at you with another video. We finally got loaded over there in Bluffton. Now I am headed to Grand Toll, Illinois. So I recorded a video while I was there in Bluffton, and it gave me an idea for another video. An easy way, the easiest, most inexpensive way to get your CDL. So a lot of people think that you got to go through trucking school and you got to go through one of these major carriers or something like that. That's just not the case. And a lot of problems that a lot of people run into is trying to get in somewhere when you don't have at least 2 years experience. I mean, so most of the carriers are going to want 2 years experience. And the easiest way to get around that is go and get your CDL early. So, well, let's start off on getting your CDL first. So, you don't have to go to school. You don't have to do none of that. It's basically the same as getting, like, your driver's license. So, you go in, you take your permit test, you get your permit. It's on the computer, just like your driver's license test. So on the permit test, there is, let's see if I can remember. It's been about 10 years. Hold on, the camera's all messed up here. It's been about 10 years since I tested for my CDL, but basically there's your air brake, your general knowledge, and your combination. Those are the three tests. I believe it's 20 questions for the air brake, 50 for the general knowledge, and I believe 20 or 25 for the combination. When I went and took my test, I knew nothing about trucking. Nothing. I had rode in a semi a few times, but other than that, that was it. And a lot of people don't know, when you go to test for your permit test to get your permit for your CDL, it's free. It don't cost any money at all. So you go and you take your permit test, and it's on the computer, and if you fail, it don't cost you nothing. If you pass, all it costs you is $20 or $25, whatever your state charges for an ID. And you'll get your new ID, and it'll have your Class A permit on it. So, I mean, it don't cost you no money. All you gotta do is go to the BMV, get the book. It's got a book just like your regular driving test, and you just study. Just study. All the answers you need are in there. And the only thing about the driving or the permit test is the way they word the questions. You really got to read the question, because I mean, I can't give you any examples because I don't remember, but the way they twist the questions, they'll use like double negatives and stuff, and it'll be kind of confusing. So you got to really read the questions and really study the book. But yeah, it's not that difficult. I mean, you read the book and you can pass. If you got common sense, you can pass. And then another thing, people think when you go take your driving test that you have to already be on with the company, because obviously you need a truck to take your test in. That's not the case. There's a lot of smaller places who have a truck on site, and typically it's a very small day cab with a very small van trailer. So like the test that I took mine in was this truck was so small it looked like a yard dog. That's what it looked like. It was a international 10-speed. I don't even remember exactly what international it was, but it was an international 10-speed day cab. It was super tiny with a 35-foot van trailer, and I believe, I may get these mixed up, but it was either $100 to take the test and $80 to rent the truck, or vice versa. But I know it cost me $180. So for $200, I got my Class A CDL. Now you can go to Roadmaster or one of these schools, and it's going to cost you $2,500 or $5,000, and it's going to take you, I don't know, I think it's at least a few weeks, 3 or 4 weeks at least, I think. But I mean, none of that's necessary. There's so much information on the internet and on YouTube. On YouTube, that's how I learned my pre-trip. That's where I learned how, like, the shift pattern, how to float gears. I mean, how to do all that stuff. I mean, I learned everything that I know on YouTube. I didn't have nobody to train me. I didn't have nobody to do nothing. Now, even if you have the slightest thought that you may eventually want to go trucking, go get your CDL, because the longer you have your CDL, the easier it's going to be for you to get a job, even if you don't have a job. Because when you go someplace and they ask for your ID to make a copy and all that stuff, and they're going to ask you how long you've had your CDL, and if you put you've had it for 2 years on your application, now you're kind of going to have to get a little shady. I mean, but you can say, oh, I drove off and on for this farmer, or, you know, hauling grain during harvest, or, you know, stuff like that. I mean, it's better to actually do that, because so you actually have a reference that they can call if they need to. But yeah, I mean, the small companies and the farmers and stuff like that, that's where you're going to get your driving experience, when you don't have enough experience to get on with a big carrier, which I'm not a fan of the big carriers anyway. I've never drove for them. I prefer a large car. I don't like the big aerodynamic. I'm a 379 W9 kind of guy. So, but that's the best way to go about it. I mean, and you can get on with these smaller carriers and, you know, get some experience. And then if you want to go to one of the bigger carriers, I mean, you'll have the experience to do so. Yeah, I mean, for $220 to come out here and you can make $75, $80, $90, $100,000 with no schooling, no student debt, I mean, none of that stuff. I mean, you can come out here and you can make really good money. So, I mean, just going and getting them. I mean, just do it. I mean, it's not that hard. You go, like I said, go there, get the book, read and study, and even if you don't end up using it, I mean, you got it. You got it. It's always, it's good to have it to fall back on. Because, I mean, like I said, I mean, it's a job where you can go make $70, $80, $90, $100,000, depending on, you know, how much you want to work. If you want to become an owner-operator, you can make more than that. Yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity. I mean, I wouldn't say I love the work, but I love trucks. That's why I truck. But I mean, make good money. So, I mean, if you want it, just go get it. I mean, it's not that difficult. I mean, if I can do it, I mean, I think anybody can do it. So, go there, get your book, go in, take your permit test. It ain't gonna cost you nothing. Just go get it. That's all you gotta do. Go get it. So, I hope this helps you guys out. We need more good truckers out here, man. I mean, I would say not even half deserve to be out here. I mean, the trucking industry the quality of the drivers have just gone to shit. So, we need some good truckers out here. Catch you guys in the next one.